Hello, family. How are you today? I know. Thank you. I love y'all too. Really glad to see y'all. Um, I'm here today because, well, I don't know. I've been wanting to tell a story all day, and I'm not sure what the story is about. But I've been hermiting for a few days, going in to find, information, stuff, talk to God, listen. So I just felt a need for contact to talk. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a video. And I'm going to make a video about a story. And it's just been in me all day. So I don't know what the story is going to be about. But we're going to do a collective reading. And we'll see who pops out. And we'll go from there. And we will start with the Gaia deck. To me, Gaia is Mother Nature. She's the trees, she's the air, she's a combination of everything, every living organism upon this planet. I'm not sure, but to me it seems like she's a very important and old primordial creature. She breathes life into all of us, whoever it is. And so I love this deck. It's very deep. It's not very frightening, because sometimes some of those decks could be very frightening. This here's the water dragon. I love that. So the story could be about dragons. Maybe we're going to talk about dragons, ancient intelligences, dragons. When we think of dragons, a lot of people are terrified and scared because they were represented as evil, but in all actuality, dragons were mystical creatures, guardians of this planet, and they were very much wiped out. A lot of the creatures of this planet were wiped out. Most of them during Noah. The flood. Of course, I watched a story on that flood today, and come to find out that they made a movie on it. It could be fiction, it could be real, but another planet passed between our planet and the sun and the moon, and broke loose the ice sheets at the top of the world. And we know that the glaciers did fall down into our place somehow. They talked about a big freeze, but they said that these glaciers slid off the top of the world, and that was what the big flood was. And a wave, the wave went all the way around the world practically. For some reason, they said the Americans were saved, and they began restarting mankind in the Americas, and accordingly, they took their DNA and mixed with the DNA of the life force that was here on Earth, which would have been the Neanderthals. And if that's the case, we are. And even if we go to the Bible story and God made Adam from the earth, well, the Neanderthals were the natural evolution of mankind upon this face of the earth up until the time when the aliens or the deities or the ancient old gods arrived here on this planet. I've got 9 of Pentacles here and 9 of Swords. So, this is basically the ending of the story that I'm telling you about when they first got here. But anyway, so because they lived here for a long time and did what they did, so, and I got a kick, so that's a confirmation. So I don't know where the story is going, but I did watch a few interesting things today, and here we are. We are having a story about a child. This could be a boy or girl child. This could be your inner child. The little girl or boy that lives within you. That child that you know, that wants to be loved and touched and held and told stories, and it wants to hear about exciting things and to know that they come from great places and ancestors. This little child here is about to go on an adventure. Hummingbirds and flowers, and you know, yesterday was a day of Leo came in, and we also celebrated Mary Magdalene yesterday, NN. So, the child, we're going to have a story about the child. Okay, so now I'm going to go with, we've got the Gaia deck, we've got the child in the roses, standing up on the pedestal, the light coming down, and the coin behind it. Number one, the child, innocent and ready to believe anything, and the hummingbird. Oh, I just love looking at the picture. Do you see? Isn't it beautiful? We all have an inner child, you know. This is all of us. All of us. Well, let's see. Where's this inner child? Where's this child going? What's going on with this child? Let's take 3 more from the Gaia deck. Okay. What's going on with this child? Where are we going? What's happening? Universe, what's up with this child? Oh, this child is changing. This child is her. We got a story about her. That's her inner child. 10 of fire. She's taking off her mask. She's not hiding anymore. She's going to reveal herself and her inner child. This is you. This is me. This is all of us who want to take off our masks and show the world who we really are and how we really feel and what we really think. And so we've got her inner child, and we have her. And she's getting ready to go on an adventure. What day and age? What age are we talking about? What time period? This looks like the Garden of Eden. Yeah. The child came from the ethers. One more card in the garden. What's going on with this woman and this child? Eight of air. This woman and child are part of the electrical flow of the space and time. See the electricity running through? The dolphins, the porpoises they talk to each other through sound waves. This is information that's going out into the collective. This is not, look at that. See the eye totally open on top? This is somebody that works out in the collective. They send messages out, and they are very electrical, very energetic, very swift thinkers, intelligence. Oh yeah, the brain is marked, the throat, the heart, look at that chakra system. We all want that chakra system and that third eye on top. You see that? What does that do? Well, it brings us closer to that which is true, the real universe, not what we've been told in the Matrix. This is breaking out and giving birth. This is giving birth to the Christ child. Somebody is giving birth right now to the child, to the Christ child. We were told about this child. This child would be a unicorn. This child would be, it was promised throughout time that it would change everything. The dreamer of dreams. The dreamer of dreams, where it would change the world for all of us. Just through thinking, just through working through healing, through spiritual technology, right? Spiritual technology. You see him vibrating and his energy just flowing outward. That's spiritual technology. The dolphins, the porpoises represent spiritual technology. The moon represents satellite reflecting out towards the people. Gravitation. The moon also represents gravitation. Pulling these energies from the moon out from his hands, outward into the great collective. That's that child. As a grown-up. Wow. Well, that's a pretty quick story. We got to find out, how did this child come about? How? You know, there's a story in the Bible about the king of the north and the queen of the south will come together and they will create a child. They will make a child. It's talked about in the Bible. The king of the north would have been from up in there, you know, from up there, whether alien, spirit, however you want to talk about it. And the queen of the south would have been coming up from hell. So probably a human woman, and they gave birth to a child. And that child grew up to be, this could be talking about a very beautiful woman and male. She reminds me of Mary Magdalene because of the Mary Magdalene Day yesterday, representing, you know, she could be very balanced. This could be her male side. So she could be both divine feminine, divine male, which would make her an emperor, right? And she's in touch with the divine collective. She's sending messages. She's got the sonic sonar solar waves going out into the collective. So she's sending love out, peace and goodwill and healing. She's crossing the waters and she's following her intuition. The birds, she's changing things. She's going from one shore to another. She's moving. She moved from one place into another. Where was she? This right here is a representation of leaving things behind that didn't work or didn't serve her. So she's left things behind that no longer serves her. And she's heading for Rainbow Land. She's heading for the Ten of Cups. A happy family. Abundance, meaning everything they need. They don't suffer or want for anything. Now, does that mean they live in a mansion? No. They probably have a nice, quaint, small house, just right. It's probably just right. Because that's how we all should be, is just happy with having it just right, right? All those other things take our attention away from what's really important, and that's the family. And she is moving towards having a happy family. Now, maybe this is the mother and father of the child. And so this child growing up, hello, okay. So the child has met a family or someone that makes her feel as if she's part of a family, perhaps. And, okay, how did she meet this family? How did she come about this? Could be a soul family. She found this family first by setting up boundaries to keep other individuals away, that she might give herself some space and room, that maybe she could meet somebody. She must have been through some quite difficult times, or else she wouldn't need to put these boundaries up, you see. We ask, how did she get here? Well, we know one thing. This right here is setting up a boundary. It's moving from one place to another. It's putting on what was and moving towards what can be. And in her mind, she saw this as what can be. So, and she's heading ultimately towards this. And this is landing on top of that. So, what caused her? What was she moving away from? Let's see what this divine feminine was moving from. What was going on in her life that she had to move away, that she thought she had to leave where she was and go somewhere else in order to find her happiness? You know, what was going on in her life? Let's see. Three of Wands. Seeking cooperation. Looking for, longing for something united and not to be alone anymore. And which we see in every picture. She's alone, she's alone, she's alone, she's alone. Always looking and waiting. What is she waiting on? She's waiting on endings. She's waiting on bright horizons and to release the pain that she's been through. She was stabbed in the back, betrayed. And we don't want to go into the betrayal. We're going to just stop right there and we're going to say, okay, so as she had a betrayal, she left. She got in her boat. She sailed away to a new happy beginning. We asked how she got there to her happy beginning. She put up boundaries, and the Queen of Swords is good at putting boundaries. She will chop your head off if you cross her threshold without permission or come into her space. And so, whatever she went through with this betrayal, this backstab, a defeat, an ending, hatred, treachery, assault, backstabber, retaliation, she released that and tied herself to the highest hope and the highest stars. She looks up every day. Every day she looks up because she knows there's only going to be good come her way. Because she does that which is good in the eyes of God, obviously. Look at that. She's a star. God loves her. She's the eye. She's the twinkle in God's eye, the, the, the love of God on this planet. Now where's she heading? She looks like she's getting herself situated. Let's use the good messenger for this story. Where's she headed? What's her life going to be like? You can see that she's very much the lady. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 feminine cards. And we got 1, 2 males. So I can see that whoever was involved in her life that was a male was not much, he's not much in her mind anymore. The magnetic male, maybe that was him right there that she was in love with. So we see she's left, she's over the betrayal, she's got hope in her heart and stars in her eyes, and she is ready to move on to a new life. So let's see, where's she going, Holy Spirit? Where's this divine feminine heading? And this is for all you divine feminines out there, because you know the best way to feel your best is to have your boundaries up and to take time for yourself. Notice she's by herself here. She's taking time. She's loving herself and loving creation. Here she's taking the time to make sure people don't hurt her anymore. They don't talk to her mean. They don't cut her down. They don't, trespass upon her sensibilities. Here she's got her best friend, and all those cups, all that joy, all that happiness. She's loved. Those cups are like joy, peace, serenity, happy with the simple pleasures in life without things getting too complicated, just a swirl of things that go on through the day, the flowers, the puppies, the kids, love, I love this, I love that, emotional happiness and joy. Okay, so we see this. So where's she heading? Where is she headed? She's about to step out into the world. Yes. She's choosing her direction now. She has 4 water. She's looking at her emotions, the bubbles. And she wants to see what she wants out of life. The bubbles are the options. She has options. And we always have options, don't we? That's right. We're always with options. The universe would never leave us without options. God is good. And even if we think there's nothing left for us, that is not the truth. Because God always makes sure we have options. And that's why faith is so important when you're a spiritual person, to believe in the good and the right things, because our mind manifests it. We will manifest how we feel, what we think, what we want. And so she's being very careful to choose what she's thinking about as she moves forward, because everything seems a little bit cloudy, and she just wants to make sure she gets the right choice as she makes her way out into the world to celebrate life and move forward. And so with that, we're going to go back to the Gaia deck. We're going to end where we started with the little child. and the child grew up to be a woman, as we all do. And she probably had so much fun being a child. And then she somehow met somebody that hurt her, an electrified man, this man. And so, with that, she had to move on because there was no commitment there. Maybe he was static, or, you know, already involved in something. That would be it right there, right? He was already involved in something. He wasn't capable of committing to her, and it hurt, and she left. And she began moving towards her happiness, and she set up her boundaries, and she wrote her hopes down on paper, the things that she would never go back to, which was the Ten of Swords. She'd never allow anybody to betray her again. And, she stopped longing for the things that she thought she wanted, and opened up her heart to see and ask God to help her to work her way towards her happiness and joy. And with that, listening to God, so we're going back to the Gaia deck, and we're going to ask God what was the direction she should go in. How should she move? What's the energy? What's the energy? What's the energy? The Eight of Air. I'm going to have to read that. This doesn't look good because of the fact that he's got blood running down his hands. And his third eye doesn't look very happy either. Well, this is obviously where she shouldn't go. Stay away from the Eight of Swords. And we're going to read that, okay? The Eight of Swords. Where should she go? I asked that. Okay. Eight of Swords. That would be the Eight of Air. Ego, truth, power, responsibility, consequences, cause and effect, lessons learned, memory. Okay. She's releasing her ego there. She's working in truth and power and responsibility. She took care of her consequences, the cause and effect, and the lessons learned. Ego does not always tell the truth. Effect will always follow cause. Time to change her ways. Admit that she made a mistake. Memory is imperfect. Self-justification does not mitigate harm. Consequences are escapable. We all make mistakes. So, what happened between those two? I didn't even ask that. Let's go back a little bit. What kind of mistake was made? Let me see. Let me get to Crystala's deck. What kind of mistake happened between these two? Remember, this is a story, fictional story. Karma. Tower. Callie. Why did Callie come between them? Just judgment and justice. Why did Callie come between them? What happened? What happened? That this judgment and justice and the tower would come between them. The breakup. What happened? Sun. Sun. Clarify, please. Callie. Sun. The sun represents a new day. Callie represents the tower. So there was a tower between the two of them. And after the tower, there was a new day. She left. And it put her in a mental prison when she should rightly not be there. Or is that for him? Ah, let's see. Yeah, that was on him. By the swords. Conflict. Conflict between the two of them, a tower. The sun right after Callie. A bright day. But he has conflict. There's 5 of swords on his side. Oh, he's going to rise like the phoenix after judgment. Yeah, we should never be afraid of judgment, justice, and our karma, because after karma is paid, after we pay God what we owe God, then we really do get a blessed life. There's no reason to be afraid of karma. No reason. We should always take our just dues because God makes sure everything stays balanced. That's why we treat everybody good, so we always got good karma coming in, that we don't go in debt. We don't want to go into the red. Don't go in the red. Stay in the black. Yep. Don't borrow from nobody. Don't offer. Don't promise. Don't do anything like that. Do what you can do, and then other than that, don't do anything at all. So, golden flower, temperance. So things are beginning to balance out on his side. Okay? So he had judgment, justice. She had to get away. He was living through karma. He was in a mental prison. Okay, so let's get another deck and let's go back to her. Let's go back to this one because we were talking about her. Gaia said there was a mental prison going on. It pointed back to him. Now, what about her? A mental prison is just where you can't stop thinking of something, you know. God will put you in prison like that. The spirit will put you in a prison where you can't get out of your head. I don't like my head. I like to live in my heart. I come down here and feel everything. You know, the head's all logical. The heart's all whimsy and mystical and kind of lets things flow, whereas logic has to be right all the time, right? Those that live in their heart don't have to be right all the time, so it's best to live in the heart. I don't like living in my head because I'm not a nice person when I think too much. Ah, she went to nest. She's getting rooted in the earth. She's nesting. I want to say she's hermiting, but I'm not going to do that. But look at her. She's resting. She's getting her rest. She's recuperating after the trauma, after the big breakup between her and, you know, what she thought was a partner. which wasn't really a partner at all, but he had other things on his mind. But she's now heading towards her Nine of Cups, and she's going to get that what she needs to make her happy. Because God gives all of us what we need to be happy. We just have to ask. We just have to ask and move towards it and wait for it to come in. The Nine of Cups are emotional fulfillment. Eight of Wands, and it's on its way. You're about to get it. You're going to get your emotional fulfillment. It's on its way. Through the power of the Holy Spirit. Well, it looks like she's going to get her happy ever after. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, got a lot of pretty cards out here. Only a couple of them that are a little rough. Those swords, man. Words hurt. Thoughts hurt. Words hurt. Thoughts hurt. We want to be careful about how we use our words. Use them constructively. If you're going to cut deep and make it work. Cut it the first time to where they understand it. In other words, when you speak and say something, make sure they're understanding what you're saying. Ten of Pentacles, she got everything she could have ever wished for. You got it all. You did it. You broke through. You've been doing it. You've been doing what you need to do to make yourself happy. You love yourself. You're treating yourself good. You're taking care of yourself. And with that, you're able to take care of the kids and the family so much better. You're happier. You're more joyful. And with that, what more can I say? It looks to me like you've got your ten of Pentacles, your Nine of Cups. That's a happy ever after. So you definitely need to get rest so that you can receive these things that's coming your way, okay? Get ready for your Ten of Cups. It's coming. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, evening. Sleep well tonight. Blessings over you. And I will see you the next time. I hope you enjoyed the story. Bye-bye.